Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad.
Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet. Wait a minute, I tell you ain't heard nothing.
I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore!
I'm mad as hell! I'm not going to take it anymore!
I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to
I'm not going to take it anymore!
I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore!
I wake up.
Hey, everybody, we are back with a live David Pollack show featuring the one and only sidekick, co-host, stuffed friend of all, Puppet Carlson. That's right, David Pollack show featuring Puppet Carlson is back. And we got a crazy show for you tonight because we're going to talk about all the crazy stuff that's been going on in the world since we last spoke, and there's plenty of it. And I can't wait to tell you all about it. But before I get to all the crazy stuff, I got to tell you, don't go anywhere because at 7 or 8, what's 7 Central, 8:25 Eastern, Mike Lindell is joining us. That's right. The My Pillow Man himself, Mike Lindell, is joining us on the David Pollack Show because we are talking about a very important initiative called the Lindell Offense Fund, not defense, offense, because he's trying to save the country's elections, and you do that ahead of time, not after the fact. We've seen that isn't the best way to go. So he's going to come on the show, talk about that, because on June 30th, 2 days after his actual birthday, there is a telethon at John Rich's Redneck Riviera in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're going to be raising money. Well, they're going to be raising money for the Lindell Offense Fund. Yours truly will be there speaking along with a lot of other great guests, and we're going to talk about that with Mike Lindell just a little bit here. So make sure you stick around for that for sure. And I'll tell you what you've missed since last week. But before I get to our headlines, I have to bring in my stuffed sidekick here.
The co-host with the most.
Co-host with the most. Puppet Carlson, the man the man of the manhole, born in a My Pillow factory.
That's right.
When Mike Lindell wished upon a falling star, and I'm going to tell him that story about Puppet Carlson's birth. Now, what you guys don't know is Puppet Carlson actually formed an entire country.
That's right.
And Chad Caton told me about this story. This actually happened, and I didn't know this. I guess him and Chad cozied up one day, and Puppet gave him his backstory.
Puppet States of America.
Yeah, it's called the Puppet States of America. And
that's why you always hear me say Puppet Nation.
Yeah, because apparently there's a whole nation out there.
That's right.
Puppet Nation. And, so we really...
And you guys can be part of it, especially if this one goes to shit. You can come on and be part of Puppet Nation.
Well, it's already going to shit, isn't it?
Well, I said, yeah, well, I guess if it totally goes to shit.
And then I want to bring in a special lady of the hour. You know her as Allie Legg.
Leger.
No. I have renamed her Ali Leger.
I don't even think we should bring up the old name.
Yeah, I agree.
Anymore.
We should retire the old name. The old name's not very good at all.
The old name is done.
Yeah. You know what? Here on forward now, from this point on, you shall be known as Ali Leger. Welcome, Ali Leger.
Hey, guys. How are y'all?
Now, for those of you who don't know Ali Leger, she, formerly Ali Legg, ran for school board in Tampa and came very close to winning. Actually, one of the first school board candidates to ever get endorsed by president. God, hell no. Governor DeSantis, never to be President DeSantis. One of the few, actually, he endorsed a few after you, but you were the first.
Yeah.
And you were a rock star then, and now you're the director of civic engagement for Moms for America. You're also the co-host of a show that I was on over the weekend, Homefront.
Yes.
And I almost ate a fly. A fly almost flew right into my mouth just now. This is serious. I could get workers' comp for it. So Chad was on it too, by the way. And
yes, he was.
Yeah.
Everybody loved you guys.
Yeah. I wish you could. I might throw you on camera just because you're backstage and I can. But Chad was there on the Homefront this weekend too. So I drove to West Palm Beach to go meet the ladies of the Homefront. And Allie's terrible at directions, apparently. And the night before I went, I said, "Where are you guys going to be broadcasting from?" And she's like, "Oh, the marina." And I said, "The marina? Yeah, cool." So I get my car, I drive, I go to the marina, I get out at the marina, and
Totally in the wrong spot.
it was fine. I got a drink. I walked around. It was very pretty. I can't find Ali Leger. I'm like, okay, where's this tent? So now I'm like, okay, so now I'm going to get investigative. And so I start looking at the video feed coming from.
Because you're a journalist, so
right. So coming from the ladies, and I see a jetty in the background. I'm like, well, there's no jetty here. So I pull up Google Maps, found the jetty, figured out where you would be based on the access of vehicles, got in my car, drove there, saw the Flynn bus parked in a construction lot. I'm like, yep, I'm on the right track. Found parking, walked to the beach, found you guys, and it was interesting. We had a really fun time. A lot of the conversation wasn't on camera that I thought was on camera when I watched it after, but I live streamed it. So if you guys
we definitely need some of those clips, by the way.
Yeah, the live stream
was hilarious.
The live stream is up. We had fun, but then Mr. Chad Caton himself.
My gosh!
I'm gonna throw him on the Chad. Can I throw you up on the video?
He had the girls in stitches. It was great. Yeah. They absolutely loved him.
Chad, thumbs up if I could throw you on video.
So we were live. That was our 5th episode, our live at the Ocean Cup 24. And the reason why we were there was they had 2 boats. One was called the Patriotic Duty.
I still think that's funny. Am I immature?
Yes, you are very much. Which is probably why we're friends, but it's okay.
The Patriotic Duty. I get it.
So
I had a Patriotic Duty right before I got on.
Did you?
Yeah. They're speedboats. And they were named, Patriotic Duty Speedboat was named in reverence for our first responders and military members and service members. So that was really interesting, getting to know them, getting to know the ins and outs of these speedboats. And they're trying to essentially beat the Guinness World Record that Neil Cook, who is originally from England and is now an American citizen, who originally made the world record. He was actually trying to break it. We still don't know if he broke it yet. We're still waiting on those numbers, but he was the pilot of the Trump 2024 boat, which they numbered 47.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Really
it was a fast boat too. And we used that as an analogy for 2024. What Trump, anything with Trump's on is going to win and break records in 2024. So it was pretty cool. It was fun being down there. Allie got me lost. But it was fun. It was beautiful on the beach. I made some new friends, told them about how do we save America. And it's always a good day when you can go out and talk to new patriots and find out that everybody's really actually Republican. Yeah. So, all right, well, getting right to the news. And the chat, by the way, Chad had a great hit on it. I think you can find it at Homefront.
Homefront.
Let me throw him on real quick. Hey, Chad Caton.
The Homefront.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
Chad.
I had to put my sunglasses on because I didn't have my makeup. And I don't have a real shirt. So
you got the guns out today.
Yeah,
dude, I do shit up here. I'm still high tech redneck, even though I do shows. So I didn't get my makeup. So
Second Amendment, Chad.
What do you want, Pollock? I'm sitting here flipping buttons and shit.
Yeah, no. I'll take you 2 minutes. You had a hit on the show that was fantastic, and when you're on camera, if people don't watch people need to watch everything you do. Yeah. You really light up, even though you kicked me off the set, and I was just going to get your take on being on Homefront.
You know what, man? I love what Allie does. I'm proud of her. One go, all go. We've all said that. We all just had a big video come out. Trump just put a big video out. A bunch of our friends on X were able to get on it. I'm calling Allie at like midnight, like, Trump needs a video. We're going to do this shit. And
put my makeup back on.
I got to put my makeup on. I was like, well, okay. The first come, first serve kind of thing. They had to rip this thing off because General Kelly's a punk, but it was great. in order to get out there and see Allie on that side of the camera, right? Where, I get to be the crazy bastard. And, I had fun with it. I'm big fans of the people that run that gig, as you all know. Patriot.tv is General Flynn, and then my boy Vic and Raj. And Raj probably hates me right now because I was texting him all types of technical shit, and I'm like, "Come on, Raj!" I love that dude. But and when we were able to get on there, I thought, it's about time. The last guy you bring on is the redneck with boats and bitches. So I thought it was amazing. It took that long. I couldn't believe it. They finally found a redneck to get on there when you're talking about high speed boats and cute chicks on microphones. It took forever, but I thought I tried to close it out the best way I can, David. You know how I am.
Well, you did a great job, and it was fun to see. And Raj and I are best friends now. We were on the phone for 3 hours. What's that?
Puppet's having a stroke. Are you okay, Puppet?
That happens sometimes. He twitches out sometimes. It's just the way he is.
Twitching balls over here.
All
okay,
right.
I just want to make sure.
All right, let me get to some headlines. You go back to pressing buttons. Chad, we appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. I'm a giver.
Yes, you are.
Manhole's dry tonight.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow. Right. Nobody needed to know that, okay?
Manhole's always dry. They have those commercials for it, manhole dryness. So here, I want to, because this is what we're going to talk about when Mike comes on here at 7:25. We're going to be talking about, because look, a lot's happened, right? Today was closing arguments on Hunter trial. I do want to get to that. I don't know if there's going to be time, but guys, in this space, I promise you we will talk about this Hunter trial because I want to get your take. And if you're in comments watching on anywhere you're watching, whether it's Rumble, on X, any of the platforms, go ahead and drop in the comments what you think, if it's better or not that that Hunter gets convicted. Because if Hunter gets convicted, well then, Donald Trump's argument that it's rigged kind of gets diluted a little bit. Now, if Hunter's found not guilty, I think his argument gets stronger. So I think it'd be better if Hunter was found not guilty. I want to know what you guys think, and we'll talk about this later in the space if I don't have time to talk about it on the show for sure. I know we got some thumbs down over there on NEX World, but it's a very interesting thing to think about. Who are we rooting for? Are we rooting for Hunter to get off here? I don't know.
There's a lot to unpack there. So
something to think about.
Listen.
What? I said we're talking about it later, Puppet. Okay. You want to talk about it now?
No.
Do it later.
All right, here's what else is going on. We had elections over the weekend, and this is the biggest news ever probably you're going to hear this year that you won't hear on the news. So basically, the European Union, they have elections, right, for their parliament, 700 and something seats, separate from the individual countries. In the European Union elections over the weekend, the Conservatives took the largest Conservative majority in European Union history, took power over the weekend. It's a big deal because, a lot of people are rejecting green policies, especially the migrant, quote unquote, illegal alien issue. Because in Europe, they have illegals too. They just come from like Africa and other countries, whereas our illegal aliens come from Africa too. I don't get it. But anyway, so they're having a lot of issues over there. And so they've been rejecting the liberal parties that have been in power there. This is huge news. And I have some video clips where you might get
happening here just happened there first.
Right. Well, and then Biden's like, cool, you guys have people getting stabbed in the street. Let's invite those people here too.
Yeah.
So that's what he did.
What could go wrong?
What?
I said, what could go wrong?
Yeah, well, stabbing. So I'm gonna have some video clips and I'll pull up here, but I want to talk to Mike Lindell about that. And so I don't know if I save the video clips for him, replay them. We'll figure that one out in a minute. The other thing we should talk about is a ginormous Trump rally again in Nevada. Now, this is a state he needs to win. Record-breaking crowds there. Everywhere he goes, record-breaking crowds. In fact, I'll just go ahead and show you the crowds there real quick. This is from Paul Ingrassi.
Cars are fine. They have a problem. They don't go far. They have a lot to buy, and I think they're wonderful, right? And I'm going to end that mandate on day one when I get to office. I met with the truckers over the weekend, and great Roger Penske is a trucker. He's also a great Indianapolis. He won it 20 times, can you believe it? Think of how smart you have to be. Japan, Germany, all these nations, they spend billions and billions of dollars trying to win the Indianapolis 500. And Roger Penske's won.
Yeah, so that is a big old crowd there in Nevada. And of course, the fake news is going to make it seem as if nobody is there because that's what they do. They lie to you. And but there was a big old crowd. One of my favorite moments of that rally. Check it out.
Joe signed an executive order that is pro-invasion, pro-child trafficking, pro-woman trafficking, pro-human trafficking, and pro-drug dealers. It's a pro-drug dealer bill. It's weak. It's ineffective. It's bullshit what he signed.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my gosh. The
Love
crowd
it.
always goes wild when he drops bullshit. It's like
I know.
thing.
I know. I love it. The man don't drink, but when he swears, everybody's like, woo! You know, I don't know.
Same thing happens when I do it.
What, when you say like curse words?
Yeah. Because I usually don't say it that often, you know?
Yeah, but it's weird when a puppet curses. It's like it's like a R-rated version of Sesame Street. It's just weird.
Shut the hell up.
Oh, well, he said hell, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's cute." Yay! See, even when you cute, when you curse, it's adorable, puppet. I just want to squeeze your puffy little cheeks.
Told ya.
We're not going to get into that.
Yeah. All right.
We're going to leave that one alone.
All right. So going here now to let's go back to Europe. Across the pond, Chop. We're going over to Europe.
That was a terrible accent.
Whatever.
Did you see the X video though, where someone was showing a video on X where people were walking out of the Trump rally, and he's like, "Why are you leaving the Trump rally?" Like trying to make it like, see, Trump's speaking and people are just walking out. It's like, yeah, because there's like thousands of people there, and some people actually have to like go home and go to work and stuff.
Well, yeah, there was also that BS. People were like, "There's proof that people are being paid to go to Trump rallies." Have you seen this? There's like the big thing on X. Yeah, they're accusing people, the Trump campaign, of paying people to go to Trump rallies.
That's ridiculous.
Listen,
well, I mean, there's only 5 that show up at a Biden rally, so calm down.
Listen, I'm here for it. I want them to continue to lie to themselves and each other, because the less they see this train coming, the harder it's going to hit them.
And they definitely are paying them to go to a Biden rally.
Right. Well, you can't even pay people to go to a Biden rally.
That's what
You legitimately, like, they pay people to vote for them, and they can't even get people to show up to a Biden rally.
You really can't even call it a rally, can you? I mean, if there's...
No. What do you call it when you visit a nursing home? Is it a rally?
Yeah, it's like a AA meeting.
It's like visiting angels. It's like you're visiting angels. It's like you're a nurse when you go to a Biden rally. It's like, are the nurses taking your cookie, Grandpa? Are the nurses taking your cookies?
Hospice?
Visiting
like hospice.
They're taking my cookies. You know? Anyway. So let's go back across the pond. And let me set up this video for you. Let me see where my clips are. Because I want you guys to see. Yeah, here we go. Clip 4.
I don't even know where your clips are.
Yeah, I do. Here, watch it.
27 countries have elected more far-right members to the European Parliament. That body has limited power, but the vote is having a significant impact. The results have prompted French President Emmanuel Macron to call for a snap parliamentary election in his country after suffering a major defeat at the hands of Marine Le Pen's right-wing party. Our Remy Inocencio explains.
I give back to you the choice for the future of our parliament, said French President Emmanuel Macron, dissolving the Republic's legislature in a political earthquake. After France's far-right parties, for the first time, won more seats than the parties he supported in Europe-wide elections for the bloc's 720-seat parliament in Brussels. Macron's call for a snap election starting June 30th comes days after he and President Biden met to mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day. If Macron loses further support, that raises the chance Marine Le Pen's far-right National Party will gain, with talk of telegenic 28-year-old Jordan Bardella, president of France's National Rally Party, becoming premier, and Le Pen possibly becoming president in 2027. Voters in Germany, Italy, Austria, and the Netherlands also sent more far-right candidates, some in Germany campaign using Nazi overtones, to the European Parliament. They include candidates who campaigned against immigrants, against support for Ukraine, against climate change policies, and against dependence on trade with China.
Thank you so much.
But despite the rightward shift, Europe's center is still holding.
There remains a majority in the center for a strong Europe.
In Paris, Macron warned that the rise of nationalists and demagogues is a danger to France, Europe, and the world. His gamble that this sudden election will shock French voters and keep them from shifting even further to the right.
Did you guys? I know you. I saw you catch that. For the people who didn't catch it, here I have it isolated here. You're gonna love this. So yeah, here, check this out.
Italy, Austria, and the Netherlands also sent more far-right candidates, some in Germany campaign using Nazi overtones, to the European Parliament. They include candidates who campaigned against immigrants, against support for Ukraine, against climate change policies, and against dependence on trade with China.
Thank you so much.
But despite the rightward shift...
Saw that?
That makes you a Nazi.
Nazi? Nazi. They said those were
overtones.
Nazi overtones. So if you're against illegal immigration,
trade with China,
if you're against trade with China and sending money to Ukraine, you're a Nazi, according to CBS. I mean,
how?
Oh wow!
Disgusting.
Unbelievable.
Just disgusting.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
So if you just that's not far right.
Oh,
that's called pro-America.
I have another clip later that if I have time, I'm going to show you where they called it neo-fascist. They say that I'll bring it up here in a second. But how crazy is that story, right? Not only, I mean, it's cool that there's the largest majority ever, conservative majority in the European Union, but according to CBS, you're a Nazi if you're against leftist policies. This is the line. That's not
the leftist policies are Nazi. The leftist policies are Marxist. They are communist. That is what that is. If you're on the far right, you're against all that.
It's not even far right.
No, it's not. It's
not far right. That's not far right.
Common sense.
I know, but that's what they're calling it.
Foreign wars.
Yeah.
Opposing your greatest enemy, threat to your country, not wanting to do business with them.
Yeah,
that's where we're at. They're trying to seriously try to brainwash people through the media.
And that's why we're waking up. But listen, before we go any further, and elections are important issues, right? Mm-hmm. And the one person that I can tell you that is not just helping me sleep better at night, but he's helping me sleep better at night because he's helping to secure our elections across this country, because we all know 2020, we were not very comfortable with the result. And so one man took it upon himself to start a fund, the Lindell Offense Fund. And Mike Lindell is joining me now on the David Pollack Show. Mike Lindell, this is an honor to have you here. Welcome to the show, sir.
Well, thanks for having me on.
So we previewed earlier on, we previewed you coming on. I told the audience about the Lindell Offense Fund, what you guys were doing, but I was hoping you can tell us a little bit more about I know probably what inspired you to do this, but I was hoping you could tell us more about the Lindell Offense Fund and how are you feeling? I know you lost your voice a little bit.
Yeah, I lost my voice. I was up in Canada for 4 days fishing. I got back and I had a big press conference saying all afternoon, and I've lost my voice, but I'll do the best I can. You guys, it's easier. I made it easier to get to the website, lindellplan.com. Very easy, lindellplan.com. And what it is, since last August, when I announced the plan to secure our election platforms, MyPillow has been attacked, the most attacked company in the history of the planet. No company has been attacked more than MyPillow. So, they figure if they destroy MyPillow that I'll quit talking about these elections. Well, and these machine companies, not going to happen. Okay. So, but the plan is pretty simple. In one way, I've been doing this for 3 years, since January of 2021, when I had all the evidence that shows this was done with computers in our country. And with the plan over the last 3 years, I have over 300,000 people on the ground in all 50 states, and we have canvassed, we have approached the election officials in every county, all 3,143 of them, and when we approach them to get rid of the machines that go to paper ballots hand counted, we get a lot of pushback for a lot of different reasons. One, it's going to be more expensive. That's a lie. It's a lot cheaper, 10 times cheaper. Our machines are not online. We don't have a problem here. Wrong. They're all online. Another one would be, which we approved now with our new monitoring devices. Another one, there was no problem in our county because Donald Trump won. Wrong. You had all these people in your county that voted that don't live in your county, which is a crime, or that were deceased. These people didn't march into this county, whatever county it is or state, and say, hey, let's go vote for Biden. It didn't happen. They pull names from these dirty voter rolls with the computers, and they vote for these people that don't live in the county or that are deceased. So what we've done is we've gotten all this pushback from all these county officials that are in charge of our elections. Well, what we did is with the plan is very simple. We reverse engineered and we said, okay, let's take each one, separate it out, and go reapproach these counties again. So now when we approach a county official, everything that they would say, no, I don't want to, I want to keep the machines, we take that we have every one of them solved. Our hand counting system is better than France, Germany, the UK, the Netherlands, all these countries that I have met with that don't have computers used in their elections. We have right now, and another one of the big pushbacks too was these officials don't want to feel alone. So right now we're doing what's called the Great Petition, the biggest petition ever done in the United States, probably in world history. And what you do, you go to lindellplan.com to sign this. It's a different kind of petition. It's in every single county in the country. And what you're doing, what we're going to do with these petitions is we're going to take them to the county officials and go, hey, we here in our county, let's say it's Carver County where I live in Minnesota. We bring it to the official and we say, you know what? You're the best official, best election and person ever. And we're behind you to get rid of these machines. Look at all these signatures. Everybody is signing, whether you're Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter. Everybody wants an election with paper ballots hand counted. Democrats wanted these machines gone long before the Republicans did. When I'm talking politicians now, our biggest blockers have been Republicans, bar none. These uniparty Republicans, like Crooked Robin Voss in Wisconsin, which by the way, we just got him recalled. We're going to have a new election coming up in August. So this plan is we're going to circle back, and we have almost 300 counties committed to going to paper ballots, hand counted for the 2024 election out of 3,143 counties. We hope to get a lot more this summer. But I will tell you this, all the things we're putting in place, and we're the only ones, we're at the tip of the spear, which we have been. And we're going to get I believe these elections secure enough with the footprint we have that they would have to cheat not just by 15 million that they did in 2020, but it'd have to be almost double that. And it would stand out like a sore thumb. This county's got paper ballots, this one's got machine, and all of a sudden this one 95% for Biden, or it would be crazy numbers, right? One of the things we're doing too, so I don't forget, is everyone's heard this thing. Oh, vote early. Vote early. Everybody, vote early now. Do your mail-in vote. Everybody, even our real president said that the other day. Well, I'm here to tell you they're all misconstrued. They're wrong. You need to vote day of. It's harder for them to cheat. And here's what we're doing as part of our plan to secure our elections. I have set up the Election Crime Bureau, and you can also check out this at lindellplan.com. But also I have an app called Frank Social. Okay, if you go to the App Store, you can get the app Frank Social. We also have Frank Speech, but Frank Social is like a Facebook. It's the best platform you'll ever see. And you click on elections, and on the elections part of it, you're going to get all this information from your county and your precinct and locally of what's going on. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to tell everyone in the country if you get a mail-in ballot sent to you, do not open it, okay? You bring that down, you bring it in the day of the election, on November 5th, you bring it in, and if they say, oh, I'm sorry, you've already voted, you go, no, I haven't. Here it is. and we're gonna give you a protocol what to do, whether you're gonna be taking a picture of that and just sending it through our Frank Social app, which will go right to the Election Crime Bureau. Now, what are we gonna do with this? If they do succeed in stealing another election, all this stuff is hard evidence they can't do this. The public is not going to tolerate it this time around. They're not going to tolerate these machines not being melted down and turned into prison bars like I've wanted for quite a while, right? So we have a great plan and different things coming up. I also have another program going on called Flipping Democrats. I'm going into these inner cities. I was just in Chicago about a month ago, and we're flipping Democrats to Republican, or to this new common sense Republican, I call it, the Donald Trump bucket. I did an event in Chicago, the heart of Chicago, about a month ago. There was 500 people in the room that had voted for Biden. Every single one of them, except for a few, and by the time the night was over, they all said they'll be voting for Trump too. They were all flipping to Donald Trump. And why? Everyone had a different reason. I'll give you one reason. The Hispanics that were all switching that we talked to, they said because they're tired of all the illegals coming in and stealing their jobs from them. This was one of the things that they brought up. They're getting paid cash. These employers are stealing money from our country by paying these illegals cash, and they're taking our jobs away from people that came here legally. So we have all these things going on, and it's amazing. We have big wins going on in Wisconsin, like I say, with the Robin Voss recall. We also have big wins in South Dakota. You would say, well, why does South Dakota matter? Every single state, every single county matters, because when we get a success story, you can go off that. Now you have a precedence. You go, hey, look, they're doing it next door. Look at they're doing it here. We're not just focusing on, these swing states. The hardest places I've gotten pushback have been Republican states like Alabama, Arkansas, South Dakota, Texas, Missouri. I mean, these should be all successes going, hey, let's get rid of the machines and go to paper ballots. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and I want to compliment you before I go around the room. You have a very successful pillow company, but it's not just pillows. I mean, you have pillows, sheets, and slippers, and all kinds of stuff. I'm an affiliate. I love your company, and I love the My Pillows. We legitimately have them in every bedroom in our house, and I really do sleep better with a My Pillow. That is the truth. Even my dogs, who are in my studio right now, sleeping on their My Pillow dog beds, they love them too. But in addition to having this wonderful company, and many of us have been watching you on television for years talking about your pillows, then you get inspired. And after becoming very successful in business, you become inspired to save America's elections. And that is what's so cool about what you're doing, what a lot of people are doing now. They've awakened a sleeping giant in this country. Mm-hmm. And where you could just do your business and not risk your empire getting involved in this election stuff. Instead, you're going out here and you're going around the country trying to secure our elections. And that is what's so awesome about what you're doing. You're not running for office. You're not out here trying to become somebody. You were already somebody, and you're using that to save this country. And we need more people like you. And I appreciate that so much about what you've done. And hopefully it inspires more people to risk what they've built. Because honestly, what is the point of building it in a country that doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah, it'll be over. If everybody knew, I got my evidence on January 9th of 2021, which was, I got to take people back. In November and December of 2020, I did my own. I took calculus like in 9th grade, okay? I do numbers every day with My Pillow. I used to be a professional card counter. If you read my book, besides being a crack cocaine addict. I mean, you could go back. I mean, my story is pretty bizarre, actually, and maybe a little bit of an anomaly. But one of the things is all this stuff that I do with mathematics, I looked at November and December of 2020 after the election, and I looked at counties and states all over the country on my own. I just bought their voter rolls, did everything to get the information I could get. And I looked at it, and one of the things that never made sense is every county and every state that I checked at that time had all these people that voted there that didn't live there. And I couldn't imagine. I go, people are genuinely good people. I can't imagine people in Minnesota going, 5,000 people going, hey, let's go into Wisconsin and vote for Biden. Come on, who's with me? It just didn't happen like that. It's not logical, especially when it was everywhere. So when on January 9th of 2021, when I got the evidence that it was done by computers, it was like an aha moment. And then I seen this. I couldn't unsee what I saw, and I can't unknow. I can't just pretend it's not there. I would think anybody that got what I seen and understood it would say, you know what? We don't have a country if we don't get rid of these things. It's over, you know. And then I studied. There's like all these countries that have lost their country to the computers. The last one being Brazil. Brazil's gone. They stole the country from their great President Bolsonaro, who's a friend of mine, and they stole it it was by like a 9 million votes. So Venezuela goes all the way back to then when Venezuela when they were taken in 2001. And you look at these things, and I'm going, okay, I've started sounding the alarm. And one of the things people need to know, in the spring of 21, when I went on Jimmy Kimmel for the first time, he asked me a question. He said, well, Mike, if your friend Donald Trump had been selected, like you say Biden was selected, would you still be sounding the alarm? I said, absolutely, yeah. I would. And I would. Anybody that knows me know I would have, and I still am. Right now, you think about this, everybody. In August of this year, you know, and when I did sound the alarm in January of 21, it was, remember, all the box stores canceled me. The shopping channels canceled me. Bots and trolls. It was the biggest bot and troll attack hired out of China, attacking all these companies that dealt with Mike Lindell or MyPillow. But I'm telling you that in August of this last year, they made this look like that was an easy pickings, because it's been 10 times. You turned up the heat. They want to destroy MyPillow. And why? Because right now they know Donald Trump is the candidate, all right? And it's not like Mike Lindell saying, hey, let's overturn the 2020 election. No, that ship sailed. So why are they still attacking me? And why did they turn up the heat tenfold? For one reason, they don't want those computers and those machines gone. They want them to stay here because the uniparty controls us. Our country is the CCP, the deep state, the globalists, and the uniparty. That's who everyone says, well, Mike, who did this then? That's who did it. Okay. The Democrat Party wanted the machines gone long before Amy Klobuchar, my own senator here in Minnesota, Kamala Harris, they were all in the movie Kill Chain. All the Democrats going, we got to get rid of these machine companies. There's 4 of them in the United States that control 98% of all our votes. 4 companies. And they say, well, you can't look into it. You can't check into it. And I said to myself, you know, these media attacks me all the time, and they're going, well, when are you going to stop talking? If you could turn back time, would you change your mind about you've destroyed everything now that you've lost everything? I said, absolutely not, because we all lose everything anyway. We get one shot at this, everybody. One shot. And that's it. And I believe we can have things secure enough. Donald Trump gets in, and he said it just at a rally the other day. He said one of the first things he's going to do, paper ballots, hand counted, same day voting. He said that, and the crowd went crazy. That, to me, that's the number one thing on people's mind. It's not the border and all that. And the economy, that manifests from a stolen election. Okay, so you got those 3 things. The top rate, you got open border, what doesn't make sense. And the economy that they destroy, that doesn't make sense. You destroy the pipeline or stop the pipeline on your first day in office. I always say to people, if you look at things and that don't make sense, if you can't explain it, where it doesn't, politicians making a decision that doesn't help either party, then they have a hidden agenda. And this is an evil agenda. This is the historical proportions that we're in right now. It's biblical proportions, a battle of good and evil. That's what we're in. And I tell everyone all the time, you know, we're in the greatest time in history to be alive. We're the ones that are going to change all this. And, you know, God's given us grace, because think where we'd be if we didn't have all the evidence, if we didn't have all people's eyes getting open. All the bad things going on right now is actually probably helping more than what Donald Trump did to bring us to December of 2019, where everybody's lives had improved, the highest consumer confidence ever. This is all right before the China virus they threw at us. But, you know, people remember that how good it was physically then. But right now, people are seeing how bad it can be. and they see through all this. That's why you see. I'll give you an example. On that indictments, are they those charges? 34 charges guilty. Now I want you to think about that for a second. If I was their marketer, I would have said, "Hey, you guys, let's make him innocent on 29 and guilty on 5. At least then they'll believe we actually looked at this stuff individually. It was a joke. You could not have looked at each one of them charges in the time that they deliberated. It's a complete joke. So when it comes, even the Nazi Germany, they were innocent of something. You weren't guilty of everything. It's ridiculous. 34 counts, 34 guilty. Give me a break. Even people I talk to everywhere go, yeah, that's a little far-fetched. Okay, well, they overplay their hand. Evil is greedy. That's our biggest game. What happened after that happened? Once again, the polls went up again. Pretty soon he's at 70%. How do you overtake that, especially when we have the election platforms somewhat secure based on what we're going to have, like I just told you? And you're going to have to steal by 30 million votes, and you don't think people are going to notice that?
Right.
Fool us once. It would be like this if I told you that, hey, you guys, there's another China virus coming in August. You think we're all going to go wear masks and eat outside in snowbanks or only have 8 people in our house? We will never fall for that again. Just like we're never going to allow these machine companies to sue people for questioning them for billions of dollars. The lawfare hadn't been used in our country since 1796. And lawfare, that's what everyone's afraid. When we lost our media, Fox News, Newsmax, and Salem Media, when they won't talk about elections anymore, or vaccines for that matter, you can't talk about machines or vaccines. You lost a voice that people trusted. And so when I see people around our country that go, I'm all depressed or whatever, I'm hopeless, I go, you're a chronic Fox watcher. And they go, how did you know? Because all you're going to see is depression there. They're not going to tell you about the hope, the good things we're doing to secure our elections. It's woe is me. Here's the news today. Donald Trump, 34-0, blah, blah, blah. How about this? How about we have successes? How about we just recall Robin Boss, one of the biggest blockers in this country's history? He's a traitor. Say that. I'm sure I can. I don't care. You can't sue me for any more than I already been sued for. Billions of dollars. It's nuts.
Yeah, but now I want to give you some hope, Mike, because you might not have heard this story, but on your screen you could see there's a puppet in one of the corners, depending on how you're looking at it from your screen. That puppet, his name is Puppet Carlson. And there's a backstory that should give you hope, because during the time where you were feeling a little desperation from some of these companies trying to cancel your product when you were going out and fighting for the country, you made a wish upon a falling star that a perfect conservative boy would rise and help save America. And out of that wish, Puppet Carlson was born with his head made of a MyPillow. And so our puppet here, his head is actually made of a MyPillow. It has plush foam. Nice. It's adjustable for your perfect comfort.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
Yes. Pop a pillow. My head is a MyPillow. And I'm a huge supporter of pillows in general because I'm made of cotton. And so
and MyPillow's patented fill.
Yes, that's right. Adjustable to your comfort, and you can put him in the dryer. You can fluff him, and he's just as good as new. And that's why I wanted you to have some hope with that, because look what you've created. This puppet thing here with.
And I'm the people's puppet. I'm the one puppet in politics that isn't on the side of the deep state.
That's right. That's right. And so not only is securing our elections, we have you to thank for that too. Now, Puppet, you have your God, it's weird for me to say this, almost like your father here, a father figure to you. Yeah, Papa Pillow. What do you want to say to him?
Well, I want to say thank you, first of all, Mike, for allowing some of your scraps from the factory to go inside of me and allow me to become what I am, the puppet I am today. So thank you for that. We're trying to get more affiliate deals over to MyPillow, more customers over there to repay for the patented stuff.
We send everybody to MyPillow to say thank you.
Have in my head here.
And hey, don't you guys have a promo code? Don't you have a promo code there?
Well, we need to get one. We have a promo code Pollock, but we need to get Puppet. We need to get promo code Puppet. We're going to get working on that, Mike. We're going to get promo code Puppet, and we're going to do ads with Puppet, and he's going to tell people that his head's made of a MyPillow. He's a comfortable, plush, huggable pillow of Puppet.
That's right.
We're going to work on this, Mike.
That's awesome.
We're going to do it because that'll help save America. But, but Allie, I want to bring you in too. Now, because we are talking about serious stuff here,
Right.
with election and
I'm
securing
serious.
You're not. You're a puppet. But no, you know what? Let me toss it back over to Puppet. Puppet, here's your shot. Show Papa Lindell that you're a serious puppet and you can hang with politics. Go.
Well, I just want to tell Mike that I appreciate what he's doing for the elections and for the country, because he's right. If we don't fix this, then we have no shot. And as long as these machines are hijacked and held by 4 companies, but the 4 companies, even if it's just 4 companies, the companies are hijacked. So it's a hijacking of a hijack, right? And so until we basically move away from these things and allow the people to speak through their votes, which is the way this system was designed to work, we're never going to be free again. We're never going to have a free election again. We're never going to be a free society again. And that's obviously what everyone wants, Democrats, Republicans, and anybody who says, you know what we really need is the machines. We really need the machines. I think the machines those people are on the take somehow, some way. They are not looking for an honest outcome.
That's right. That's right. When we sit there and answer every question to those officials and they come back and say, oh, no, we want to keep them. Well, is that how you got elected? I mean, there's something wrong here. There's something actually wrong. It doesn't make sense. Why would anybody want to keep them when it's less costly? With paper ballots hand counted, it's more accurate. You have cameras on. You never have to do an audit because all you have to do is rewind the camera and do the count. It's beautiful. And we have taken the best of every country that from Germany, UK, Netherlands, and even Argentina now, who one judge said last summer we got to get rid of these computers and go to paper ballots, hand count. They had their first fair election in decades. So we need to do that. And our system that we developed here is second to none. Everybody would trust it. There's no reason. Some things like my pillow, there's certain things you can't do to my pillow that a machine can't do that you have to do by hand. Right. There's so many things done with a My Pillow. It's the best way to do it is by hand. That's never going to change. And same way with our elections. And and what really baffles me is why nobody. If I said this before, if somebody came out one day and said, "Hey, all the pillows in the country have rocks and knives in them," do you think My Pillow would sit back and go, "Oh, I'm going to sue you for saying that"? No, I would not do that. I'd open up the pillows and say, look there's no rocks or knives. It's beautiful patented pill. So all these companies that did sue, the ones that did sue people, there's another company, the biggest one in the country, it's called ES&S out of Omaha, Nebraska. They are the biggest voting machine company in the United States. Now, they broke antitrust laws years ago, selling Diebold to Dominion because they had a monopoly. Now, let me just tell you about them. If I was ES&S, isn't it funny, you guys, that they didn't come out and say, hey, check out our machines. They're not hackable. These are great machines. We didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? If that would be the normal reaction as a company, as a business. Right. But they did not do that. I was with a Senate hearing with them. They did say one thing. One of their owners at the Senate hearing said, he was asked, are your machines safer or more secure than these other Dominion or Smartmatic, whatever? And you know what they said? The owner said, no, all machines are created equal. They're all hackable. They're all backdoors, and they're all boom. That's it. So why would we? When you have hacks, one of the biggest threat to our country, you have cyber attacks all the time on credit cards, on your computers, your stolen identity. You get all these things, and you know what? When that happens, insurance might cover it, or the credit card companies cover it, whatever. Exactly. And it's just a money thing. But when it happens in an election, you can lose everything. You lose your country and your freedoms. Why would anybody want to use any kind of device where, I don't care if it's 1 in a million. I don't care if it's an actual glitch. Right. Maybe it's an actual glitch. You have all these machines that went bad in 2022, supposedly in the Kerry Lake race. 242 of them at the exact same moment in time. All of them went down at the same time, same exact glitch, and they're not connected horizontally. It's impossible. But let's just say it was a real glitch, right? It was a problem. Well, if that happened, why would you ever want to use machines again And then, it's like a recall. You got to recall it. In Georgia,
Absolutely. You wouldn't just say, run that again, do that again.
Yeah, let's do that again. I'll give you the Democrats in Georgia, that's the machine companies that are controlled by crooked Brad Rassenberger, the Secretary of State, who's a Republican. You're a Democrat in Georgia, good luck on winning, okay? Because these 3 Democrats in the 2022 primary, this gal got 0 votes in her own precinct that her and her husband live in.
Oh, no.
I often said, you know what? They should have gave her 2 votes and said, I'm sorry, ma'am, nobody loves you but your husband. Or they could have gave her 1 vote and they'd have been in divorce court going, why didn't you?
Oh, my gosh.
But they gave her 0. They gave her 0. So they had to open up the machines, and Crooked Brad called it a programming error. Why are you programming our elections? And why?
Exactly.
And if it's a programming error, get rid of them. Let's do paper ballots, hand count. It's very simple.
Well, I love everything that you're doing, Mike. You actually, one of my friends works with you, Sharona Bishop, when we're part of Moms for America, and we just absolutely love everything that you're doing. What my favorite part about all of this is that you saw an issue, you dug for the truth, and then you found a call to action, and you're informing everybody, but you're also telling people to get engaged and how to get engaged. Because if we don't have an informed and an engaged electorate populace, right, then our country falls. It is up to us just as much as it is up to everyone else. And if we are not capable or willing to do the work to save our country, then we can only turn around and look in the mirror and point the finger at ourselves for losing it. So I commend you. I applaud you. And this is absolutely an honor to sit and listen to your story and have you on our show.
Well, thank you. And to tell everybody that, yes, go to lindellplan.com. You can get involved there. It's one thing. We have the whole plan. We have it all laid out, and it's working. And so, but we need the people, and we also need people to sign that petition. We need people to donate to help the plan. I ran out of money to fund the whole country, but everybody's been pitching in, and it's been great. And so everybody get involved. And by the way, if you sign the great petition, you get a free digital copy of my book. I did an audio book myself. It was one of the hardest things I've had to do. And you get that absolutely free just for taking the time out to sign the great petition. We really need people's signatures for every single county in the United States.
So, Mike, I have a question for you. When we sign the petition and we go to our legislature, how does that work? How
I'm not bringing it to legislatures. I'm bringing it. Here's what I'm doing. In the county, let's say you live in, pick a county. I live in Carver County. What my team's going to do on the ground when we get all the signatures, let's say there's 40,000 people in my county and I get 30,000 signatures, Democrats and Republicans alike, doesn't matter. We bring it up and we're going back to that county official. Most counties you can at the county level, they can say, we're not going to use machines. We're going to use paper ballots, hand counted. They can do that. So when we bring it to them, we bring them the same sales pitch we brought before, but now we say, hey, and by the way, we're behind you. 30,000 people in our county. We got your back. You're not alone. A lot of them are afraid to be alone to make that decision. They need to know that the people are behind them.
Right.
And that's what we're going to use it for. Now, maybe later on we would use all those signatures when you get into legislature. By then, it's going to be the election will be over by then. And then, you know what? I could use them then and say, hey, you know what, Mr. President, here, but I don't know, then you're basically, as the dominoes fall, then once one person falls, the whole country's going to go to paper ballots. I really believe that.
So you're handing it to your supervisor of elections, essentially, or whoever's in charge.
We're handing it to the supervisor in the county. Almost every county in the United States, they can vote it at the county level.
Awesome.
And that's one of the pushbacks we had, that they felt alone, that they got to realize this is what the people want is to have it. So it's basically just telling them we have their back. We're not going to go up there and demand, hey, we want this. We're the people. Here's our petition. And we're already doing stuff at the legislature level and stuff, but we're running out of track here. We've got to do it at the county. And by the way, when that other thing I told everybody to do, to take your mail-in ballot and save that, and then when you get there, if they say you didn't vote, this is very important when we get to that point in time, because with that, being able to have, it's a gathering of information and a gathering of evidence. So if they do, we're going to be able to show this isn't just about the presidential election, but it's about all down tickets to all these other tickets that are on there. So But yeah, it's just another tool that we need. And by the way, if you get the Frank Social app, everybody at the App Store, if you get the Frank Social app, you guys, that you can use right now at the elections. By the way, at the county level, the sheriff has all the power. So if you see a deviation in these primaries like we have, we bring that to the sheriff, because the sheriff can order a moratorium on those machines and stop them from being used because a crime's been committed. Anybody that voted in your county that doesn't live there, a crime has been committed. Right. And he's got to investigate it, but he can't see inside those machines. So he can stop them, go to paper ballots and say, hey, until we figure this out, we're going to go to paper. The sheriffs they have all the power, everybody. So really, I encourage everybody to get that Frank Social app and get involved with that.
And now, Mike, before you have to go, I want to talk about the I Like Mike Tennessee telethon at the Redneck Riviera here coming up on November 30th. I'm encouraging everyone to go. I'll be speaking there. Just found out today, so I'm really excited about that and look forward to seeing you there. I'm going to try to do my best to drag both Puppet and Ali there as well. And
June 30th, right?
June 30th at Redneck Riviera, John Rich's house. This is the I Like Mike telethon. I was hoping you could tell us something about it super quick, and then I'm going to go encourage everybody to get their tickets.
This is something that I had nothing to do with. This is my team. Remember, I had all these people that have my back, and they wanted to do something to raise money because I have ran out of money, and I've been very public with that. Every dime I've spent, I've mortgaged everything I have to secure our elections. This isn't my lawsuits. This is to secure the elections, like the cause of America, all these things that I put in. So they did this to help raise money and to support me, and I thank them for that. I know John Rich is a good friend of mine. I see his name up there, or his place. I think we're going to have it at.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be there now. Originally, I wasn't even going. I feel kind of weird they're having this thing for me, and I go, well, Mike, you got to be there. So I am going to be there, and I'm just I'm not good at accepting things, but I have to be now. We don't have a choice. I've got to be humble, accept it, and we got to take all that money and use it to save our country.
Well, and that's what it's all about. And I encourage everybody to go to the Lindell Offense Fund.org. You can donate. If you don't want to come to this event, you can donate just to help what Mike is doing. Like he said, he's leveraging his own livelihood to secure our election. So you can help him do that at Lindell Offense Fund. Or you said it was the plan. What
yeah, LindellPlan.com. It's very easy to remember. That brings you actually to the Offense Fund.
Okay.
So LindellPlan.com.
Lindell Plan.
Guys, sign the petition, do your donations there, and let's save our country. We've I promised our real president that we would have these elections secure enough. You get them in, and the rest of this stuff can be fixed. Remember that, and like you say, with God, all things are possible. And we're the great place we're going to get to. We're going to look back, and everything had to happen just the way it did, even the bad things. God uses all things for good, and but everybody's got to do their part. You can't just sitting and praying right now. It's too important. We get one shot at this. You got to do your part. Pray about what you can do. If you can't give any money, get there, sign that petition. Get the Frank Social app. Get that now. That's so important too, because you got education. There, here's another thing, everybody. If you can't talk to your friends now that we're on the left or liberal or Democrat, if you can't talk to them now with all the tools we have of the bad things going on, you're in the wrong. You got to go evangelize right now and just talk to them and say, hey, you guys, you see, you might not, for some reason, you might not like Donald Trump. Tell them to remember December of 2019, how great they had it in this country as far as gas prices and the economy and all-time consumer confidence. They'll remember, trust me, because it's so bad now, they can't afford to pay attention.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for being on the show. We hope you get your voice back. Yeah. Thank you for being here. We hope to see you again on the show. We lost him there for a minute. Puppet, I hope you enjoy. There you are.
Thank you all for having me on. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll see you again soon. Keep up the good fight. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. All right, guys. Well, that takes us right about to the end of the show. Now, I know we have our Twitter audience, the Twitter X-Base audience that wanted to jump into the conversation. Mike had to go. So I'm sorry that we won't be able to bring you guys the comments in, but we're going to jump into the space and we're going to continue this conversation. I want to talk about our election integrity. I want to talk about the EU elections because we didn't even get to really flesh that out too much because that's something to talk about. I'll leave you with this though. This was the riots after conservatives took control of the EU Parliament. Do you remember when we used to watch this on TV and think Europe was crazy? Now you can't even tell if that's America or not. Actually, you could tell it's not America because it's cleaner. And the buildings actually aren't on fire. So we'll talk about join us next week. We're going to talk about this, and I'm sure there's going to be some developments in the Hunter Biden case. We didn't even get to talk about that today. Lots to talk about. We'll jump over to the space and we'll have these conversations. So I want to hear from the folks over on the X space. If you go to @ThePollock just look for my name. You'll see a little purple glowing circle around me. You can click and you can join us in the space. We're going to continue this conversation there. We're going to talk about the election. We're going to talk about securing our elections. We'll talk about these riots, and we'll talk about this Hunter Biden case, all in the space. So jump on over there and join us in the conversation. Special thank you to Chad Caton. I'm fired up for bringing this show into spaces. We really appreciate you. And thank you, Allie, for being here. And Puppet, I know we're running long, but what was it like to meet Papa Lindell?
Man, I feel like I was that I saw the angel, the blue fairy that turned me into a real boy. I mean, like Pinocchio's, come home.
I think you're at a loss of words, which is
and I don't even have the words.
It's just weird.
I mean, it's just amazing.
It was pretty amazing. I felt like he didn't know. It was like, I didn't know. I felt like I was Maury Povich, where you're like, you're the father. And he's like, what are you talking about? I have a son? His name is Puppet.
He's like, wait, when did I wish upon a star?
Yeah, am I going to have to pay child support for this thing? I didn't know how that one would go.
But the whole wishing on a star thing is probably a little bit far-fetched. It's probably more like you farted in a corner,
oh my gosh! Come on.
Oh, like you were born out of a urinal cake?
I was just born out of a as a gas cloud, and when gas reflected off the light, it's kind of like the UFO government's explanation of UFOs.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. All right, well let's jump over to this X space. Guys, I appreciate you watching here at home. We will see you next week, 8 p.m., same time, same place. And we appreciate you watching.